Here we are over the mecca of all trap shooters, the home grounds of the Amateur Trap Shooting Association at Vandalia, Ohio, where the Grand American Handicap Tournament is being held.
ACUI and Winchester Western joined in the common effort that brought these students together as friendly rivals in America's fastest growing sport.
Shotgunning for sport began in the late 1700s, when shooters would step up and take shots at live pigeons released from cages called traps. From the early days of the sport until now, the evolution of shotgunning has been enhanced, tweaked, and molded into many forms. Regardless of the format of today's shotgun sports, one thing remains constant: breaking clays instead of pigeons. But for many of the best shooters in the world, the shotgun sports are about more than breaking clays. For Sophia Bultema, a now 19-year-old college athlete, bunker trap is about breaking barriers and making a life she was never supposed to have. Conversely, for Anthony Matarese, the first sporting clay shooter in the world to win all 4 major titles, his life was meant to be lived with shotgun in hand. He began competitive shooting at the age of 10, and he's been breaking records ever since. The stories you're about to hear are as improbable and inspiring as they are unexpected. They're the embodiment of never give up and practice makes perfect. They illustrate that with enough heart and enough hustle, the shooting sports can transcend in more ways than one. Early life was anything but stable for Sophia Bultema. Born a female in China during the one-child policy era, Sophia was cast aside early in life. Fast forward 13 years later, and this incredible young woman is now a world-class shotgun shooter, using her compassion and determination to build a worldwide reputation. On the firing line, she's a crack shot. Off the line, she's a fun-loving student, still finding her way.
I'm Sophia Bultema. I am a para-trap shooter for Team USA for Hillsdale College. I think my parents really wanted me to understand that I can do a lot of things despite having one arm. My grandpa gave me a cute little .22, and I think I got that for Christmas when I was about like 10 or so. In high school, freshman year, my high school has a varsity shooting team, and my parents really wanted me to start doing that. So I got a little shotgun from the basement and I shot my 28 gauge. Worked my way up to a 12 gauge shotgun, got more competitive.
You know, early on, it was like, I can't tell you how many times we went shooting before she finally broke a clay. So it was a bit of an exercise in perseverance. But it's just really encouraging for just to see how much shooting has been just a great, life development thing. And I'm glad she has joy in shooting, but just the level of confidence and poise and all of these other attributes that go along with shooting, had just been a remarkable, thing.
I think that missing an arm has never been a disability for her, but shooting, it like put her on the same playing field. Once she figured out how to shoot, she does better than a lot of, two-legged shooters.
And really, parachuting has been, the thing where she really is a standout, even kind of on the world stage. So that really helped kind of her move ahead.
Winchester Life is brought to you by Winchester Ammunition, the American legend. Winchester Repeating Arms. Winchester Safes. Birchwood Casey. Walkers. Folds of Honor. Shoot United. Make the shooting sports part of your life. This segment of Winchester Life is brought to you by Winchester Safes.
In the ideal world, before I go up on the line, my brain becomes very smooth and I do not think about it a lot. Where would my eyes be? How am I going to shoot that target? You stop thinking about things, you stop thinking about all negative things. You kind of like have a little empty chamber in your mind that you either fill with shooting or you fill with nothing. Bunker is the international and Olympic version of ATA or trap. There's a little house in front of you. You call pull on a little mic and a target randomly shoots out and you have to hit it. The targets are flying pretty quickly, about 70 miles an hour, sometimes faster, sometimes slower. There are about 45-degree angles. There are a lot of variations on angles and height and all that fun stuff. So that's kind of what makes it really fun for a lot of people. Bunker really takes the easy to learn, hard to master to a whole new level. So I shoot paratrap, and to be a parachuter, there are a couple classifications and a couple of requirements that you have to kind of go through. Whenever you do a classification, they'll kind of go through like a little physical exam to see what you're missing, what may like constitute, does it pass or not pass as a physical ailment. I think mine's pretty obvious. I don't have a left arm.
I am not quite sure where her dreams of being a Paralympian fall in her life goals, but I want her to be a confident, powerful woman, and I think this is part of it. And she is doing really well for this 19-year-old girl.
Now she's making national teams as an able-bodied athlete and shooting as a para-athlete. So it's been a great thing, and Hillsdale's been just an incredible place for her as well. Coaching, the school, the facilities, the teammates. It's really been a great match for her.
For the most part, I think I will want to stay with it as long as I can, go as far as I can with it, and just enjoy the time that I have.
Winchester AA, the most trusted target load out there, hands down, in my opinion.
Yeah, if you're a serious target shooter, you know AA's, it's probably your go-to.
So talk to me about what makes AA so special. I know there's so many great things about it, obviously hard hitting and tight patterns, but why is that?
Well, what makes it hard hitting is really the secret sauce, which is antimony. So hard shot, that 6% antimony really helps that shot stay more round. So when you shoot, there's a lot of setback forces, and that shot will actually deform, press upon itself, and that'll affect patterns. You know, rounder shot is gonna fly straighter, retain more energy, and that's really what we've done with AA's.
And you guys haven't just focused on that. You've talked about the hulls for a second. I mean, these are extremely amazing hulls, right? I mean, it makes it for good reloadability, is that right?
Right, a lot of people, whether that's 28 gauge, 410, 20, 12 gauge, all of our hulls are a high strength hull. We use a particular process, thicker plastics, so that way you can get more reloads out of it. So, you know, for those people who want to build their own loads, maybe save a little bit of money, AA's are perfect for that.
Well, AA has been around forever. It's one of the most trusted out there. And I think that speaks for itself. The fact that if you're a target shooter, you're using AA, especially if you're going high caliber or competing, AA is exactly what you should be using.
This segment of Winchester Life has been brought to you by Walkers. This segment of Winchester Life is brought to you by Folds of Honor, providing life-changing scholarships to families of fallen or disabled military and first responders. If barriers are broken one at a time, what about records? Some say records are actually meant to be broken, and eventually they all fall. For the time being, world champion Anthony Matares holds his fair share of records, and he's showing no signs of slowing down.
I'm Anthony Matares Jr. I'm from Pennsville, New Jersey. Born in 1984, makes me 39 years old this year. We're here at M&M Hunting Preserve and Sporting Clays. Been here my entire life, grew up here. My daily life is very interesting. So we have a hunting preserve and sporting clay range here. I would consider myself a shooting instructor, being my main profession. Good, all right, couple steps back. On a daily basis, I spend the majority of my time on the range, whether that be teaching shooting mostly, and then some big competitions throughout the year. So if someone was asking me what is my profession, I'm a shooting instructor. Awesome. Couldn't do that 20 minutes ago.
Oh.
So I've took sporting clays, obviously, both in my shooting professionally and my teaching, you know, and took it very seriously. And the question that people ask me often is, you know, how did you decide that you wanted to do that, or how did that transpire? So it's pretty unique, and one of the reasons for my success as a shooting instructor is I'm very experienced at it. So I'm only 39 years old, but I started teaching shooting when I was 14 or 15. I had started taking people out on the range and teaching them how to shoot. We're gonna jump across, go over on the other side. Sporting clays, shooting clay targets. Some people may have heard the common term trap shooting or skeet shooting, which is essentially shooting clay targets as well. Sporting clays is designed where it's laid out over a course similar to a golf course, where each one is unique. They're a little bit different. Some are in the field, some are in woods. You know, we even have sporting clay courses in the desert. So in sporting clays, each station is unique, each presentation is unique. And what makes sporting clays both unique and challenging is that you have an infinite number of angle, speeds, and distance that can be presented to you. In the traditional games, which are much older, of trap and skeet, is more of a fixed distance, fixed speed, and every trap and skeet range is going to be more or less the same no matter where you travel to. Sporting clays originally designed to simulate hunting, all the different scenarios that you might have, from an overhead shot to a rabbit running on the ground, to a going away shot, a crossing shot. Sporting clays has developed into a sport of its own in the sense that obviously still a very good representation and practice for hunting, but now most sporting clay shooters are not actually hunters, where when it started, it was a sport that was designed to allow hunters to get ready for the season. I think that there's a lot about sporting clays that people love. You're outdoors, you're shooting a shotgun, you have the exploding of a clay, you have the self-achievement, discipline. So what I think sporting clays does for a lot of people, myself included, and is the reason why I'm still doing it almost 30 years later, is that you're doing an outdoor sport, you're doing it with friends, you're doing it with family, you have the opportunity to blow something up and hear the gun go off and smell the gunpowder. You have self-discipline, you have challenge. So all those things kind of together make it something that you can do for a lifetime, you can pursue passionately, you can pursue it as a recreation that you do a couple times in a season or once in a season, or you could be out there a couple days a week and really striving to prove yourself both as either a competitive shooter or just for the self-discipline of being an accomplished shooter. Looking at my shooting career, I've won 3 US Opens, I've won 2 World Championships, I won the National Sporting Clays Championship. My most memorable moment was winning the 2016 World Sporting Clays Championship, and I was the first American to win that. I won the World Sporting Championship, the World Feed Test Championship, the US Open, and the National. So I was the first American to win all 4 of those, and you have to be an American, obviously, to win the National Championship. So again, kind of being the first is important to me. You know, it'll be done again for sure by someone, but they won't be the first. In shooting sports, if there's a legacy that I would want to leave behind or something that people associate my name with when, you know, time has passed and I'm no longer the best shooter in the country or the world at that matter, you know, what I would like to leave behind is really that I've shot for a long time and I was consistent. And that's something that I strive and plan to do, and I have done. And you know, I have a lot of years ahead of me. I've spent a lot of time teaching shooting, and I've created a lot of instructional content, both with a book that I've written and instructional videos that I have out. You know, something that I want to leave behind is all that material for people to learn from. You know, I hope that my name is associated with, you know, providing excellent content and instruction for people to learn from.
This segment of Winchester Life has been brought to you by Birchwood Casey. This segment of Winchester Life is brought to you by Winchester Repeating Arms.
I am married. I have 4 kids. My oldest daughter is Emma, she's 9. My next daughter is Amelia, she's 6. My next daughter is Madeline, she's 3. And we have a son, Anthony the 3rd, and he is going to be 6 months next month. So that keeps me busy, obviously, with that broad range. My wife is Jessica. We live close by here to the range. We just moved within a couple miles within the last few years, which has made life a lot better for us, just being close to work. And again, I'm out shooting already, doing a little bit of target shooting, but also out hunting, etc. Family for me is everything. My family, meaning my parents, gave me the opportunity to do what I'm doing here today. My mom and dad took me all over the country, gave me that opportunity. My family now, you know, my wife and my 4 kids, you know, are a big part of my life every day, you know, so all of that It's part of the reason, you know, why you do the things that you do, and that you go to the places that you go and bring them and have those experiences and work hard to be able to provide for them and take them to different places with me. So family to me is huge. When you're out on a sporting clay range and in a competition, when you get to a station, you first start off, it's definitely a lot of thinking and planning outside the box. So you're making decisions where you're going to shoot targets, how you're going to approach it, what your plan is. So break points, hold points. You've looked at you have to analyze the target by seeing where it lands to recognize the angle, the speed, and the distance. You want to kind of think of it though, as you step into the box, it's like flipping a switch. So when you step into that box, what we want to be thinking when we step into the box is it's really just about killing the target. At that point, you want to be much less conscious. You're really just trying to kill the bird and execute. You're not concerned about the exact plan. So it kind of goes from thinking to not thinking, right? So when you step in, you're going to really use your eyes. You're going to let your instincts take over. You're going to let your subconscious do some work for you. So outside the box, a little bit of thinking. Inside the box, trying to keep the thinking to a minimum.
There's an enthralling connection that unites these two incredible people. Through their positive participation in the shooting sports lifestyle, they have each carved their own path. Sophia's unyielding spirit and against all odds approach has taken her to new heights, personally and professionally. Anthony's commitment to discipline and excellence has kept the family business on the forefront and allowed him to achieve success unlike any other shooter before him.